Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Damian Kuznowicz from Foundation of Education and Social Dialogue. And I'm with George on this BioBec project, and I want to present it to you. Maybe in the beginning, a few words about our foundation. It was established 2007. The main areas of activities are raising awareness about bioeconomy, but also implementing R&D results. So, for example, we have a biorefinery, a small pilot plant for biomass. And we are engaged in many projects regarding bioeconomy. So, in our presentation, I will present the BioBec project that Nilo already said. We are also associate member of BIC as a foundation, and the founder of foundation graduated this university, and he also was, I think, teacher in here. So I always feel good in this building. So yeah. So let's go. Okay, this is the project in a nutshell, so I will present it briefly just to go to more details. The full title is Preparing the Creation of Bio-Based Education Centers to Meet Industry Needs and Boost the Contribution of the Bioeconomy to Societal Challenges. So we started in the September 2021. We still have some 10 months of project before us. We were founded by BBIJU. And what are the main aims of this project? The project aims to build bridges between bio-based industry and education systems. And we want to engage many stakeholders in it to make it really realistic and feasible. We will develop a framework of multi-level bioeconomy education centers, flexible enough to respond to present and future needs. And we are planning to make 6 models of education centers to cover various regions of Europe, to make it more flexible, to make it more suitable for the different regions and ready to be implemented by other countries. So it's really general, but I will tell you more about that in a moment. The consortium is quite big. It has 19 partners from 12 countries. Our main leader, coordinator is University of Bologna. From Poland we have 2 partners. We are CIVIS and IBE from also institute from Warsaw. Yes, and about the idea, the whole idea of the project. So we want to, like I said, we want to make 6 models of education centers. That's why they are related to different regions or countries. So we have Mediterranean. We call it BioBec to make it short, yes? Not Bioeconomy Education Center, but BioBec. So we have Mediterranean BioBec, which we have Spain, France, and Italy. We have Eastern Europe BioBec. It's Poland, Czech Republic, and Bulgaria. We are piloting it. And we have also BioBecs only within one country. So we have Ireland, Denmark, and Finland. We have also Germany, but Germany covers only southern region of Germany. So so we are very different. The conditions are really different. The factors are really different. So we want to reflect it in our models because, we learned during the project that in the education, the idea of education center in every BioBec will be something different. So and I will tell it a bit more later. Okay, about our BioBec, Central Eastern Europe BioBec. 3 countries are piloting the the creation of the center, Poland, Bulgaria, and Czech Republic. But we are covering all like Eastern Europe countries, BioEast micro-region. Due to our connections to other platforms, we also have some influence on Norway, because we have many connections with Scandinavia, Finland, so we also include Norway in it. So we have a similar location, but it's really different situation in every country. For example, in our region, only one country has a bioeconomy strategy. It is Latvia. Other strategies are being developed, but for example, last week I learned that some countries won't go to the strategy. They will have roadmaps or maybe regional strategies, so it's really different. So we don't know how it will go in Poland also. Yeah, and just a brief information about methodology. Let's say how we want to create and build the bridges between the industry and the economy and the industry and education system, the whole let's say innovation ecosystem. So we have 4 main stages. The first stage was to the 2 stages are almost completed. We are working on a 3rd stage. So we are analyzing needs and expectations. Then, based on the needs and expectations, we'll create a BioBec design. Then we will do assessment of feasibility to make it realistic, to make it ready for the region. And it should be ready to roll out and replication, because we want to make a model that can be implemented in other countries with similar conditions. Yeah, so this is the, let's say, theory, and now I want to go into details, but I will make a perspective of our region, because due to time, yes, because 6 models are really, it should be another conference, I think, for the whole thing. Okay, so needs and expectations. So we did several surveys, focus group interviews, other research to find out what are the needs and expectations of stakeholders in the region. So this is the, like in a nutshell, the synthesis of what we came up with. So the first and most important need is raise awareness and basic knowledge on bioeconomy. Because, for example, we talk to Polish farmers or waste management companies, and they say, okay, I'm not part of bioeconomy. So I'm a part of many sectors, but bioeconomy doesn't fit me. So we have to raise awareness about the bioeconomy in the region, boosting cooperation between stakeholders, especially between academia and industry, which was, talked before, taking advantage of existing solutions, initiatives, resources and practices of the bioeconomy without creating a new institutions. I think it's a really interesting point, especially in Poland. The science institutes, the universities told us that, okay, we have the hardware, we have the buildings, now we have to cooperate with the business, and this is the problem. So we don't need another building, we just want to make it happen, make it work. Because, for example, Poland have really, I think, the largest amount of regional funds in European Union, which was used also to that purposes, to create infrastructure and so on. Yes, promoting international cooperation and mobility with countries where the bioeconomy awareness is higher, to exchange knowledge, to exchange the experiences, and this regards to students, science staff, and so on. To provide tools, didactical resources, and expertise to educational institutions, anticipating the trends within the industry to create flexible education offer, improve the current curricula, and consulting services to the institutions, but also to decision makers to make it, yeah, more realistic. Okay, we've also analyzed 29 cases of similar education centers in Europe. Not all of them, but we analyzed almost 30 cases. And yeah, the main conclusion is that we have really good, let's say, a pack of best practices that we can maybe follow, maybe inspire on, to be inspired by. Yeah, and I don't want to go into details because on our website there's a whole report about it, so it's really interesting, so I encourage you to also to see it. Yeah, and those centers, this is the location of the centers that we analyzed. For example, okay, this is the geography, but most of them were student-oriented, talent or skilled force hub, or knowledge innovation hub. So yeah, so we have like a matrix where we can those cases were put in this matrix, and we see where to which countries are more developed in this field. Okay. Oh, it's really hard to see. Okay. We also made a readiness survey. Readiness survey with concrete stakeholders like universities or science institutes, where in this survey they can in details show us in what areas are they operating, what are the potential, what's the stuff they, the science stuff do they have, and it was what was important, how would they cooperate with us if we would create such a center. So it cannot be seen, but it was really, you know, from mentoring to R&D works to student exchange with the industry. So okay, this is yeah, it's said Poland BioBec, but it's more general in the for the region, and you can see that we are very diverse. There are lots of specializations in the region that can be used. Okay, so there was a moment when we had a lot of data, different data, and we want to make it more concrete. So we used a business model canvas tool just to put everything on a one page. If we would create such a center. So yeah, so we had value propositions, key resources, key activities, and so on. So it was the very first draft of how to make it, yeah, a business model of the center. So it's really, the letters are really small, but on our website again, it's really it's a nice version in PDF, so you can read it. For our center, but 5 other cases also, which is really important because every center is different. So I think it's really interesting to look into it. Okay, and after the business canvas model, we engaged in the reality check of potential implementation solutions. We created a governance plan of our institution. We create a financial model and plans or areas of education that we want to cover. So, okay, the first thing, the first part is completed, but we are working on, still working on other stages. But I want to present also some initial results, and I will show it a little bit later. Okay, what was the let's say input from the region to our model? So we have knowledge about bioeconomy, a network of already existing educational institutions, established platforms and cooperation schemes of different stakeholders, experienced staff willing to participate in different kind of courses and as lecturers, R&D infrastructure, what I said before. What we certainly have is funding, and this is quite important. But we are also, our macro region is rich in biomass and other resources. So we are really valuable for the bioeconomy. And what are the demands? So implementation of EU bioeconomy strategy, growing demand of skilled workforce, flexible education, low awareness of the meaning of the bioeconomy, because we have the knowledge about the bioeconomy, I mean, on universities, on, let's say, science institutes, but the awareness in the, let's say, society, the whole ecosystem is quite low, and our project shows it. So, of course, develop circular economy and protect environment. Okay, so after that we've created a governance plan, so a document when we pointed out the structure of our institution or our center, our BioBec, how the decision is being made, how the interplay within the institution. So we came up that for our region, the best, let's say, form will be a hub for knowledge exchange, education cooperation, and which will provide services related to bioeconomy. It should be flexible and open in order to integrate many stakeholders. We should also create international consortia. We should apply for funds to develop, to use the funds that are, let's say, in our region to develop more, and to propose, of course, concrete actions. Because, yeah. So, yeah, this is like a synthesis of our mission and vision, because it's, the list is, let's say, longer. But yeah, the key points are to facilitate the joint initiatives in the field of bioeconomy, to improve the cooperation, to map the valuable education and training opportunities, because stakeholders told us that, okay, there are some training opportunities on the market, but some of them are not really valuable. So they told us you should show, for example, the industry, what is the valuable education offer on the market. Of course, rising awareness, let's say, how to improve the quality of education, and in general, how to raise the importance of bioeconomy in the modern world, and so on. Yeah, and the point about international cooperation, it was really important to the stakeholders to exchange knowledge, exchange students, staff between other countries. So we really plan to do that. To support the governments and decision making, because it was also a pointed problem within our project. And of course, implementation and closer cooperation between the industry and science and academia. So also to boost the possibilities for private investment in the bioeconomy and to develop future skills for working staff in sectors related to bioeconomy. So at this stage we make a large list, and we wanted to make it realistic, to make it concrete actions that will implement those points. So at the moment we have an action plan for 5 years. Based on it, we've developed a financial model to make it sustainable. So we have like 5 main points that we want to focus on. So supporting the exchange of knowledge between the stakeholders, sharing information about valuable education and training opportunities, providing educational materials and expertise, support cooperation between science and industry, management and cooperation between the other 5 BioBecs and other initiatives in the region. So I don't want to go into details, but every task has subtasks, and we have a scheduled plan for 5 years. So and we have a financial model for it, and yeah, and we are planning now to implement it and to make it happen. So yeah, this is my last slide. So thank you very much for your attention.